Bryton recently announced the Rider S800. It has a large 3.4-inch color touchscreen display, voice to text while group chatting, a staggering 36 hours claimed battery life, as well as all of the latest feature sets that Bryton has to offer from all of their previous devices, like voice navigation. But at $400, it's also the most expensive bike computer that Bryton offers. So with so many competitive options that are on the marketplace at that price point, how does this all new cycling computer compare? So I think what you're first gonna notice about this device is just how large the display is. But what's nice is that it doesn't necessarily make for a massive overall size device. It's 58 millimeters wide, 105 millimeters tall, and it has a pretty slim profile. It's only about 14 millimeters thick. And although it is a pretty big bike computer, it only weighs 104 grams. And just for reference, the Hammerhead Karoo weighs 130 grams. The 1030 Plus weighs in at 125 grams. Now the Bryton S800 is offered in two different options, the E for $400 and the T option for $480. Both of those options include the bike computer, a bike mount, a protective case, and a screen protector, which is kind of cool. But the T package also includes cadence and speed sensor, a heart rate monitor, all of that added. Now shown here is just kind of all the stuff that you get in the E option, which I'm kind of guessing is probably what will be most popular. The mount that does come with the 800 is nice, but I really like that you can actually switch out the back attachment area just to a Garmin compatible attachment mount. So you just kind of unscrew these 4 screws and then you screw in the Garmin compatible attachment. They call it their conversion kit and it costs 13 bucks. Pretty similar in price to what Wahoo has for their little Garmin conversion kit. And then as far as the computer hardware goes, I think the two big stars of this device are the, very bright, large, high contrast display and the extremely long 36-hour battery life of this device. The screen is a 3.4-inch color touchscreen, and it uses MIP or memory in pixel technology, which makes it, very bright and very visible in bright sunlight conditions. But the device itself also has an ambient light sensor, which does help manage screen brightness. Probably helps with battery life also. And then, on the software side, you'll get things like cycling dynamics, which means you can see things like left-right power balance if your power meter, is capable of showing that information. I also never had any issues, syncing to devices like power meters. I tried a few different power meters, Cork power meter and Garmin pedals. I also tried a few different heart rate monitors and the Garmin Varia radar. That's just one of those things I just don't really like riding without. I also didn't have any trouble using it with my smart bike trainer. So, if you like to use your bike computer to control your smart bike trainer, that shouldn't be a problem with this computer. Also, the Bryton has some very interesting new group ride features with this particular device, where you can actually use your voice to send a text to the group, and you can track the group members' locations. I absolutely love the concept of this feature. I think that, this is the kind of stuff that is really innovative and I really love to see in bike computer technologies. It's just that, it relies on everyone in the group having a Bryton Rider S800, which, I don't know, you guys all have Bryton Rider S800s. This computer does have a climber challenge feature. It's kind of like Garmin's Climber Pro or Hammerhead's Climber feature. And it's the ability for the user to use a known route to generate detailed climbing information. So when your large climb is coming up, or how many climbs you have left in a particular route. And when you're actually climbing the route itself, you can see things like, how much longer the climb is, where the climb gets really steep, and with gradient information, how many more meters or feet of climbing you have left. Unfortunately, the Bryton device doesn't have Strava live segments yet. I just figured I would mention that in case, that's a critical feature for you. I know it's definitely something that I would probably miss if this was my only cycling computer. Okay, so, here's my general overall take when it comes to, a lot of the Bryton devices. They are good, they do work, but they're not without bugs, or I would say very often like confusing error messages. I tend to have a very difficult time loading routes. The cycling computer is supposed to download them directly from someplace like Komoot or Strava, which does link up to the computer and the app, no problem. It just tends to fail when actually downloading or syncing those routes. Or, every time that you go back to that route page, the app takes 2 or 3 minutes while it either tries to pull in or sync those routes, even if, absolutely nothing has changed. Here is one selected route that shows a map of Taipei City in Taiwan. And then, later on, I tried the same route and it seems to work just fine. So, I would say that, if you're talking about something like the Rider 750 computer from Bryton with a 2.8-inch touchscreen computer that you can find on sale for as low as $230, that's less than the Wahoo Bolt, it's less than the Garmin 530. Then at that point, you kind of start to overlook some of those minor annoyances, the UI bugs and weird error messages that you get. But now the S800, this is a $400 computer. I think it's a little different. That's the exact same price as the Hammerhead Karoo or the Garmin 830. It's a little bit more actually than the Wahoo Roam. Now, at that point, I really do think that we should be a little bit more critical. I don't know what to call them, maybe something like, those like polish issues. But for $400, I just think that we might want more here. We want a device that not only has all of those bells and whistles like the great screen and the great battery life and the cool features like cycling dynamics and climber challenge and voice to text, all the cool group features, but we also want it to work smoothly. And all of that being said, I do think that a lot of people are going to like the display of this device. And I think some people are gonna be willing to overlook some of those minor, bugs or issues, maybe because they really need a bike computer with that really long battery life. But, those are just some of my quick takes on the Bryton Rider S800. I'd actually much prefer to hear what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comment section. Is this the best cycling computer for $400 on the market currently? Either way, be sure to get out there, swim, bike, run, rinse, and then repeat it all over again. And we will see you guys on the next one.